Okay.
We are live in the Virgin Islands.
Whoa! We're live
Live
between the Gusts
in the Gus
with Oliver Shanklin.
and Brian Christensen.
Hey, it's been a while.
Oh, man, it has been a while.
So the last time that we did this, we were talking about the Virgin Crossings event and how excited we were that that was going to go off. And there was
Yeah,
potential for us to do another episode before the event, but we didn't do that. Um,
yeah.
and then, so how long ago was the Virgin Crossings event?
Um, it was. Oh wow, that was when did we
That was a
do it?
couple
That
weeks
was
ago.
February, mid-February, February 8th or February 8th to the 15th, February 8th to the 15th, and we're like almost 3 weeks removed, but not
Whew.
quite.
Have you recovered?
Um, Almost. I'm $1,200 negative since the crossings.
Oh shoot. What happened?
I don't know. I didn't know the most expensive shot of rum cost 900 something dollars, and then the sleazy bartender was going to add a $500 gratuity onto that.
Yeah, that's a little shameful on his part. But you know,
Go Cooper Island.
go Cooper Island. It's a great place for a midway down a downwind adventure though, right?
I think Peter Island's going to be better though. That's what I'm thinking. Because you can
Uh
come right into Peter to what do they call that bay? What do they call that bay? Not White
Dead
Bay.
Man's?
White Bay is on the Dead Man's Bay.
Yeah.
Dead Man's Bay. That's going to be a sick place to come up. They got the restaurant
But
right there.
yeah, but they won't let you go in there without paying the resort fee.
Yeah, but we'll include that in the price and everything. It'd be fine. They're going to be stoked to have us.
And then we got there's the little sargassum wall that you have to jump.
What? They put one in?
Yeah, they've got the floaty thing to stop it
It,
from coming into the beach.
there's no way to get around it.
It's like a zig and a zag. But
Hmm.
it'd be cooler if you jumped it.
Hmm. Anyway, all right, back to sorry for the tangent.
Yeah, well, okay, so how about Virgin Crossings? How'd it go?
It was amazing. We had 19 kiters and wingers. Um, the original idea was to be winging from and kiting from island to island. But then I kind of derailed that plan because I decided that best conditions trumps my plans. So we went to Anagata for 3 days for the beginning of it. And we got some of the most insane conditions that you could ask for for everyone. Everyone was blown away that there was so much, and we were able to, you know, uh, scratch everybody's wing itch, right? Like, wind itch. You know, the kiters were able to kite the the waves in flat water on the North Shore at ABC every day. And we would
You guys did
downwind
it
to,
downwind, right?
yeah, we just downwinded around the corner. You can basically downwind the whole coast, and just island bar hop and restaurant hop all the way down. You've got waves on the outside, flat water on the inside, little creatures everywhere. Yeah, it's crystal clear water. I mean, no wetsuit. It's pretty amazing.
Ta-da.
And then the North Shore, you can do winging on, but since there was this random straight west 20-foot swell coming in, there was this sandbar out in the middle between Anegada and Virgin Gorda, and it was big. We're coming like Monday morning, we wake up and I'm just like, everybody, we're just gonna go straight to Anegada because it's firing up there. So, and it's gonna be straight north wind, and I don't think anywhere else was really gonna be great for straight north wind, right? Like,
Not to derail, but I was thinking about this the other day. There's one spot that could have been really good. It's like a skate park. Mingo Key.
oh, USVI. Yeah, that was an amazing session. I mean, you just derailed this conversation. Like,
Anyways,
I caught 50 waves in an hour, more than that. I don't know. I have to count that. What did I say? I counted the because each jibe was a wave.
yeah. Because
How
you're like
many
you go out and then you catch a wave and you come down, and then you tack up the
jibe?
other way,
Yeah,
and then
catch a
you
wave.
come down, and then you come
You
back up.
jibe.
And
So every jibe was a
we just
wave
like
that I
crisscross
caught.
you. It was amazing.
It, yeah, it's the wildest thing. It's hard to explain on here. We would need a little graph and the picture and
Yeah,
video would be nice. Um, anyway,
which we are always lacking of, except for this Virgin Crossings event. Had a videographer.
Kevin Wolf, the best, the best. He's the best. I'm just seeing if I can look it up. I'll look it up later. There's a lot of waves that day. Anyway, so we're coming up Monday, and because the wind was so north, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be nasty getting up there in the two catamarans. Um, so I had all the gear strapped down on the top like we were going into war, into battle. Everybody thought it was crazy. And they thought it was even more crazy when it wasn't as bad as I had thought it was going to be. But that's because it was straight north wind and Anegada was just blocking all that chop, right? So we're like halfway between Virgin Gorda and Anegada. And Katie's like, hey, what's that? And I kind of look up because I'm looking at swell and stuff on my phone. I look up and I see what looks like a breaking wave, like in the middle of the ocean. And I like take a double take and I'm like, I think that's a breaking wave. And then we get closer and Katie's like, that's a breaking wave. And we have to turn up, go up and around the wave. And the cat's just like, and
Wow.
then she turns it and you can tell like, and she's like white knuckled, like, and I'm like, you got this. And she's like, I got and she just baller just turns it right down the wave and just knows how to take it where we don't catch the wave and it just goes past us and then we're through and then we're headed up there and at that point I was like we have got to get anchored as soon as possible, get all the wingers off this boat and get back to this wave because the wind was coming straight north, so it was just going to put your wing, you're just going to catch it and the wing was going to be like ghost wave. Never seen this wave before. I don't know if anybody's ever ridden this wave before, but um, it was going to be a virgin wave. Virgin wave, never been ridden.
Woo.
So yeah, we parked and yeah. Do I tell the whole story? I mean, it was nuts. Like we, and it was like it wasn't really bright that day. It was very cloudy and misty from just all the spray from all the waves around. So we get
Well, because Anegada is a flat island, so I imagine all of the stuff breaking on the North Shore is also just misting it and coming across.
yeah. The so there's two kiters that foil that want to come with us, the wingers. I'm gonna go with the wingers. And I'm like, guys, like, we're gonna be out there a while. Like, it's gonna be like 2 hours. They're like, yeah, we'll be fine. I'm like, okay, but you have to stick with all of us. So I got five wingers with me. I got my dinghy. I got Kevin with me. I'm like, we're going to the wave, and I like we start heading out. And this one thing I learned on this trip is that people over the age of 60 do not listen. The two the two kiters gone. Like beep, just doing their own thing, not sticking with us at all. I'm just like, so we're like heading out, and then I'm just like, okay. But then Jesse ends up having to rescue both of those guys on the rescue. They weren't in mortal danger or anything. They just couldn't, they got tired and couldn't make it back to the boat. So he had to go grab them in the dinghy.
Oh
Wasn't a
man.
big deal. It wasn't a big deal, but it was just a little annoying, I guess. So I go out with the wingers. And one thing I did learn is that we need to get like a huge flag for the dinghy because when you're out, like we get out there and you can't see Anegada because Anegada's flat. You can't see Anegada. So, and you can barely see Virgin Gorda, you know. So you don't, and it's so far away, you don't really have a reference point of where the breaking wave is. So you're just hoping you're not in the spot where it's breaking. Anyway, so you basically wing, and then I was keeping the dinghy at the where the wave was breaking, so there was some kind of reference point. So you would catch the wave, and then you would ride it for like what felt like 3 miles. Like it would just you'd think it was gonna stop, and it wouldn't. I was on the what's the code? The 760 code. What's the surf one? The
Oh, I
760.
don't know. I don't know about the 850. I got an 850. Yeah, it's probably 760.
I think it's a 760. And that thing felt like I was on ice skates with that. It was crazy. It was because I was going so fast. It was just like I was just like, and it was crazy. You would think like you were gonna like the wave was gonna but it would just keep going because it just gets. It's just like it hits right here. There was a sandbar, but then it just like steadily keeps going up, right, getting shallower. So the wave just keeps the shape, and you would just go, but then you would get off the wave and you wouldn't know where you were. You would get done with the wave and you were like, okay, I can't see the dinghy, but the wind's coming from the north. So I know as long as I do a hard tack up, eventually I'll get back to where they were. So you'd start going up and you'd start doubting yourself. You're like, am I in the right spot? And then right when you were thinking that, you would see like one wing up there, and you would make your way back up to the wings.
I guess
Um,
that's where a kiter, just stationary, would be good.
yeah, if they had stayed with us, yeah, it would have been great, but they didn't. Um, so that was the first day, and it was so big. Like, okay, so on my watch, I had my watch set for whenever I'm in waves, I always set it to twin tip kite, so that it measures jumps. So every time you go over a wave, it like tings and it like tells you how big it was. So they were like 20-foot waves. It was like banging on my watch. So, give or take 5 feet, right? So could have been bigger, could have been smaller. So we'll average it 20 feet. So 20-foot waves. So we get done, wing back to the boat, and it is so big. You can see from the boat the ripples on the horizon of these waves just coming by. And so I was like, man, and I didn't know if it was going to hold. Like, you never know if it's going to be the same the next day, right? So then, anyway,
Oh yeah.
we get done. We go to Amato Point for dinner. Best dinner we had on Anegada. Those guys killed it. Fresh fish, good ribs. All the food was good.
That's the only place we take our guests.
That's the best. Sid's.
Yeah.
So then the next day I wake up and I look out And yeah, you can still see these monster waves just coming by. I'm like, all right, sweet. So I give like a couple wing lessons in the morning while everybody's waking up. I have like a little wing lesson club for some of the guests. So they get up at 7 in the morning and do an hour wing lesson with me. Get done with that, eat breakfast, and then head out with the wingers again. This time I'm like, guys, you have to, we're going to go out for the kiters want to go out with us again. And I'm like, listen, we're going to be out there a while. It's like, you can't, Jesse's not going to be here today. I'm going to be the only one. So if you're going to come, you have to stay with us, you know, and you have to be able to kite for 2 hours. I can't just be taking you back to the boat because the wave's pretty far out there. Like, you know, so we start heading out and yeah, I had to, so one of the kiters was going and then he decided he was just going to go back. So he went back. And then this other kiter was like, I'm done. I'm like, after like 40 minutes, I was like, you're done? He's like, yeah, can you just take me back to the boat? I'm like, yeah, I can. So I like, it was luckily it was just at the beginning so I could still see the wingers. So I like got all his stuff, got him back to the boat. And I'm coming back out and Giovanni's coming back up. And I see him like coming across and there's this catamaran coming into the boat channel. And I can see Giovanni like lifting his wing and looking at the cat, like trying to figure out like what the catamaran is going to do. Catamaran is under power, not under sail. And so then Giovanni is like, all right, he's just going to go behind him. So then he starts going behind the cat. And this catamaran's got 2 fishing lines out the back coming into the boat channel
Oh
and,
shit.
and snags Giovanni. Like, boom, he goes down. He's like flipping out. So now I have to rescue him. So I go rescue him, take him back to the boat, stare down the captain. I'm not very happy with this captain right now. Like, why are you fishing across like from Virgin Gorda to Anegada? It's barracuda, man. There's no fish in that area that you're gonna want to eat. None. You know, maybe over the Jacuzzi, but you'd have to stop in deep trouble. Jacuzzi. They're trolling. They are trolling.
In the
And
channel.
well, they're trolling to the channel. So they're not in the channel, but he's gonna obviously he hasn't even started. He only started reeling them in because he saw Giovanni get snagged by it. Like he was gonna just go into the channel with lines out. Like no
Crazy.
problem. Yeah. Anyway, so I take Giovanni out back and I go back out there. And and yeah, so then we're back in the waves again. Everybody's happy. So the first day we got done on Monday, and they were like, "This is the best wing wave session we've ever had." Then we get done second day, best wings, better than the day before. So it's just like every day was just like bang, 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 right? So it was really, really good start to go to Anegada and do best conditions, best uh, things. Uh, and we probably wouldn't have done that had it been an all winger trip and we were focused mainly on racing from island to island, which will probably be the next trip. We'll still chase best conditions, best race setup. Um, but it was the best spot to take kiters and wingers, because they could both go out and to have equal amount of fun in both spots. So
Well, and I think it was kind of like these sort of unprecedented conditions. If it had been like the normal, I think that there would have been a lot more other spots that you could do that as well. But like, I mean, North Sound was like cool and all, but not as cool as Anegada for all those different things. So while you were doing that, I was sitting at Bitter End Yacht Club with the owners on board, the owners of Forever Young. It was, not an enjoyable, like to be driving the boat around through these different sorts of conditions. And they just like being on the dock. And there was no dock besides like Bridge and Gorda Yacht Harbor or like Nanny Key that was going to be comfortable in these conditions, right?
Oh yeah,
Um,
I can't even imagine Scrub Island. Scrub Island had to be horrible.
oh yeah, yeah. No, there were no boats in there. I looked at their live cam, and then yeah, so we just sat at Bitter End for a number of days. And they don't wake up till like noon, so I was able to pop out and cruise over to Necker. I was somewhat concerned, like gusty conditions, not great for the parawing, right?
Hmm.
So getting out of North Sound can be pretty tricky. Like there's some big holes around. Uh,
Especially from the yacht club.
yeah, yeah. But so we did have, that wind blowing straight down onto the marina. But getting up around like Eustacia and Saba and everything, it's pretty tricky. And then like getting through the reef pass, pretty tough. Um, so I chose not to go with the Parawing, and I um took a wing. But I went up to
Well,
neck.
what size wing?
I took the five, because I just got the Alula, like Ozone Alula, the Ultra Flux or something. Um,
Hmm.
and it flags out really well. And it was like, I know I'm gonna go out and ride some waves. I want, my best flagging wing. So
But by the way, best flagging wing that I've rode recently is the
yeah,
duotone float.
well, hence the name. But I
Yeah.
don't have the duotone flow. I have,
No, no, I know. I was just go
yeah.
ahead.
Anyways, I took a yeah, so I went out with, I didn't change my setup too much. I just put the 850S on. Um and I had the 75 centimeter mast, and I just took off. The first day that we got those north winds and that northwest swell. Um
Are you
and
okay?
what
Uh, are you pair winging on the 80 centimeter or 75 centimeter today?
the 75.
You're on the 75. Okay. Back to
Yeah.
your story. Sorry about that.
Yeah, yeah, no worries. Um so I whoops. I went out to Necker, assuming there would be some sort of waves out there, and I assumed properly there was like one of these ghost waves that you guys had up in Anegada that was on the Necker Reef on the west side, going out like at least a mile. Um,
Did you did you by chance check out Mosquito, the west end of Mosquito, where that wave like barrels over there? Did you have eyes on that at all, or?
no, I didn't go over there, and I'm assuming it would have been, in the lee of Mosquito with the north wind.
Oh,
Um,
true.
but I've boogie boarded that. Yeah, it's a great boogie boarding wave.
Anyway, so back to your ghost wave
Um,
and Necker.
well, so yeah, I the with the wind direction as it was and the reef as it was, because it was, kind of like closing out on the, like the north part of that break. I was
Hmm.
I was just wanting to ride the shoulder, so the right braking shoulder into the like the mooring field. The rest of it was all closing out on that reef. Um, so I was, like was having a hard time getting into it, and I think there was like pretty decent current. I got onto the shoulder a few times.
Was this wave? This wave was on the north side of Necker,
West side of Necker,
west side of Necker. Was it south or north?
straight west.
Straight west. Okay. Straight west. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Okay. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Um, and I caught some decent waves. I messed up a few times, and I was blaming the small mast. I ended up coming into the Eustacia Reef and that little like offshore patch. There's like the shallow reef, and then there's like an offshore patch. It's mostly all like elkhorn coral,
Mm-hmm.
which is you know bleached out last summer, whatever. Um, and that was setting up beautifully, and you could go right or left. Um, and I had a lot of fun on that. But there was like a percussive wave coming back out, kind of like Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Johnson gets that backwash, and then
The
you get like
backwash.
that like roller coaster ride. And I exploded a few times, and it was like, okay, I need to come back out here with that 80 centimeter mass. So I go back, do the day next day, in the morning, take off, got the 80 centimeter, head out, everything. The wind's a little more east of north, waves the same, and it was perfect for me. And I think the current must have been different. But I popped into some of these waves, and they were fucking huge, right? Just very large, and you ride forever. Um, and again, like you were saying, you have no idea where you're at. So this time I was actually able to stay closer to the zone because I think the current was working with me. And yeah, I was like, where am I? Am I in the zone? Am I close to the wave? And I think that, like it was like a little longer between sets. Like that first day, it was like set after set after set. So you knew where it was. And then it was a little longer between sets. And then all of a sudden I see this wall coming at me like, oh, I'm in the zone right here. All right.
Man,
Let's like race out and get over top of this thing. And then make it over the first one. And then the second one is just basically, like I just barely sneak over it. Like white water like all around the board and everything. And then uh the third one, it breaks right in front of me. And I'm like, oh, just like toss
oh
toss the wing up, try to get it up and over because it's a new, very expensive wing. Toss it up and over, and I'm completely alone. Like miles away from everybody else. There ain't nobody coming to help me. The staff boat for Necker was not showing up, like et cetera, et cetera. Like I was on my own, and so I tossed the thing over. Wave washes through. Um, yeah, everything's okay. Start get on my board. Start getting it back up and going again. And here's another one. Woo! And then this time, the I felt the tug of the leash,
and then you felt nothing.
and then I lost the tug, and I was like, oh no! And so there I am, like out in these massive waves. And I'm like, maybe the board didn't catch a wave. Like maybe it's not too far away. And I like look up, and I was like, there's nothing around. And like, okay, okay, all right, let's just kind of get out of the zone and start swimming for this board. Yeah, it it came. I saw it come out of like the wave. It wasn't too far away, and I start swimming for it as fast as I can. The wave behind, I feel the wave coming up behind me. Like, okay, maybe I can like body surf onto this thing. Like, I didn't catch that wave. And then that wave did catch my board and took it away. And then so swimming, swimming, swimming. And then I don't know if you get that feeling in your toes, like when it feels like there's like a little like something's like checking you out, like maybe like little electro sensor things in your toes, and it's like,
Yeah, because something's pinging you, right? something,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
using
So,
using their thing to be like,
well, that's potential, and it's like super murky out there because like massive groundswell. And they're like, this is a terrible position to be in. Oh, 'cause I've seen a lot of sharks around there. Um, yeah, just about every time I go out winging, you see like a hammer or like something big. And then yeah, so I was somewhat scared, and I got onto my wing, and I was in the wing like paddling. Um, like this is to the rubber of the Alula is gonna save me. Because by the way, this material, the Alula material, I was like looking into it, right? Is
mhm.
recyclable. It's a monomer plastic. So at the end of the life of your Alula wings, you could take that plastic and put it right into your 3D printer.
Really?
Just a by the way segue. So then, you know, I'm paddling this wing around, and I'm kind of getting the currents pushing me back into the zone, and waves breaking behind me. Is like, you know what? We're using this. Catch it, ride it. But yeah, in all, it was like 11 minutes of swimming. I was like checking the watch. 11 minutes of swimming to get back to the board. Um, anyways, even if I had had a partner, what happens in that situation? Because like when you're kiting, you can easily bring a board back to your buddy. How do you bring a board back to your buddy winging?
Um, I don't know, maybe you go over there and you like tie the broken leash to you and like tow it back over to the person with you like sitting on your board.
Yeah.
Or you what you probably should do is wing around your buddy and keep the thingies away from your buddy with your machete. You know, although
Possible.
hammerheads, I feel like eat stingrays and sharks, so they would be more interested in a foil. Like, ooh, that's interesting looking. Maybe I need to eat that.
No, I don't think the hammer is. You'd have any worries about the hammer in there.
Not thinking that your foil was like a stingray or something.
No,
No? Mm, okay.
no, I'm not. I'm not worried about that in the slightest.
I'm not either. I'm
Uh,
just saying, like, it's popped in my head, but I wouldn't say I'm worried about it.
yeah. So what happened on the rest of the trip? Anyway,
I mean,
I continued to surf there. It was absolutely amazing. It was really lovely. I just got back on the board. I tied a sheet bend onto directly onto the board, um, with the leash that was still attached to me. Um, and it could maintain a tug, but I've since thrown that leash away.
I snapped my leash the other day when I was out South Shore of St. John, like 3 miles out. That was kind of sketchy. Yeah, but the second it did it, like I knew it did it. I was like coming down a wave and I was gonna go catch the one behind it. So I was like turning off, but I like caught the wave a little wrong and I felt like it like I could have saved it, or it was one of those like you could save this, but if you don't save it, the foil's coming up toward you, right? Because
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was gonna go over that side of the board. So I just pushed hard on the back foot and just slung like pushed it where it went that way with a ton of force, and I fly off of it, and I just feel the pop, and immediately knew what happened, and just I'm in midair, knowing it popped and just slung the pair wing back the other way and pulled myself to the board. So I got to it pretty quick, was able to tie it back up, but then I immediately got back up, was riding down a wave, and then my went to go pack away the pair wing, and my lines went through my board. My board went through the lines, and then I was stuck there for like probably a good 10,
No.
15 minutes getting it untangled from the board. I had to untie my leash because I had to tie, my leash broke, so I had to tie it to me. So now I had to untie the leash, but I had tied it through the swivel, so it was really hard to untie it off the bowline, and it was a whole thing. But anyway, so back to Virgin Crossing. Yeah, so we did 3 days up there, and then on the fourth day, when everybody was like, "There's not going to be any wind," I was like, "Stop reading the forecast." And like I was every day, somebody was like giving me something about the wind, and every day it just kept blowing. Thank you, Stephen Cross, Virgin Crossing, Stephen Cross. Um, woke up the fourth day, got all the wingers together, and I tried to convince the two foil kiters not to go. One of them understood because I was like, "I've watched you're really good kiter, but you don't have the endurance anymore. And this isn't going to be a type of situation where I can just pick you up because it's going to be rough and big out there. And you got to do the 2 hour crossing or you can't go." So he decided not to go, but the other foil kiter decided to go. I was like, "Fine, but you got to make it." Told them all to stick together, all that stuff. So we head out, and I see there's more to this story, but I just want to get to. There's tons of this story. There's a lot. There is a lot that happened during this crossing, but we're not going to talk about all that. We're just going to talk about the good, all the good that happened. We had one cat took off early. I was in the chase boat in the middle, and then the second catamaran was behind us. So we had coverage between the two, and everybody's winging over. And then my friend Brian Christensen comes out of nowhere, and everybody, I didn't tell anybody you were coming, so they were all surprised when there was a group of four, and then it went to a group of five, and they were like, "Where'd this guy come from?" But yeah, we
He
raced all the
just got
way over.
off work.
Yeah, I just got off work, came over, and we raced to Leverick. It was actually the wind was perfect because the wind started off. I saw it. The wind was going to start east, and then it was going to slowly turn southeast. So I told everybody we're going to go to Leverick because we could come across, and then as the wind shifted south, we'd come into that channel, and then the wind would be blowing over. What do you call that? Nail Bay or whatever. It'd be blowing over that little cut, and you could just ride it straight into Leverick. And it worked. It worked. Everybody just
I'll
raced in.
I'll I'll say I downwinded the whole way from Virgin Gorda to from North Sound. I downwinded to Anegada because it had switched southeast overnight, right?
When we took off that morning, it was east, and
Oh,
it didn't switch to southeast until we got halfway across.
well, I was riding waves all the way to Anegada, and
Yeah, I know. I saw you.
then turned around and it was like upwinding.
Yeah. Wait, did you go all the way to Anegada and then back?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Well,
Did you?
I
I
made
thought
it
you
to
went
the
halfway.
channel. I made it
Oh,
to the
you went.
channel.
Oh, you went all the way to the channel and then back across. I thought you just came and met us halfway. So
No,
you did it twice.
you guys were not very far along.
No.
No.
So you came all the way across and you saw us start.
So I was at that channel. Well,
Anegada channel.
I saw Samir, said what's up to Samir.
No,
I
that
went
wasn't at.
around
That
the boat
wasn't
and then
at.
I went down to the channel and then I came back and caught up with everybody.
I didn't see you. Where was I?
Yeah, you were driving your dinghy.
I didn't see you in Anagata though.
Not in Anegada. You guys had you had just taken off.
You said you came around the boat. What boat?
Yeah. Do you want me to? I went around both of them. Here,
Yeah,
wait.
just
Can I share my? Let me share. How do I share my share? My screen? Oh, only the host can share in this meeting. Well, shoot.
I can change that. Can't I? Post.
Um. Well, then I'd have to go back to all my things. But you can see. I went
Did that work?
12 miles. Let's see. Share screen. Um. Start broadcast. Okay. Boom. All right. Back to February. Oh, somewhere around here.
There it was. Go back.
There we go. That was definitely not halfway. But yeah, pretty close.
Pretty close. So right,
Um,
okay, so check this out. Go back, go back, go back, go back. I'm gonna show you where the wave was. Zoom zoom out a little bit.
you can see that me going back.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
hey,
I was
I
also
don't
downwinding. All right.
come out. All right, go in. All right. So the wave was
There's
like,
that probably this, right?
no, not that. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't that.
This?
Down where you were. Go to where you were. No, where you were. Where you turned around. Right there. Zoom
Yeah.
out. Now go to the right. Go down. So it was like right there where it
Oh
says
wow.
where it says North Atlantic. See those ripples right there?
Yeah. Wow, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So you like couldn't see it, like you just couldn't see anything. It was crazy.
I guess here's my kite session. There was a wing session.
So this is great. Now that we can do this, you can pull up videos on your phone since you always do it on your phone and you can be the video guy.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is this is the ridiculousness of trying to get out with a north wind.
Is that the wave? And that's the wave you rode.
There's the wave.
All right, zoom out a little bit. Yeah, that makes sense.
Makes perfect
Yep.
sense, right?
Hmm.
And then you're just riding the edge of the reef.
Hmm. That's awesome.
And then we did here at Sandbox. This was our race that we
The
did with
race day.
the Bitter End Yacht Club guys.
Hmm.
Um, kind of light wind. What does it say we had? 9 to 11 knots. All right. Um,
Gusting to 16.
gusting to 16. Yeah, I guess that's when we got up on foil. Two. All right, so that was fun, right? Doing the race with the bitter end guys.
Yeah, that was
And then
super fun.
what else happened? Well, I guess I had to go back to work. So that means I was going back to leaving from Nanny Key. Um, oh, and then oh my God, it was
Wait, go down, go back up, go back up. When was this?
This was Samir took me South Shore St. John.
Oh yeah, that's right. And the wind died on
Yeah, look at that. It's another 11 knot day.
you. All right. Yeah, so the Virgin Crossings thing went great. We had wind every day, and yeah, the day after, again when everybody said there was going to be no wind, there was plenty of wind, and we went around Necker that day. Can I share my
And then
stuff?
you
How does that work? How'd you do that? Share screen?
down at the bottom, uh,
Yeah, but
participants
how do I
too,
do it off?
share.
How do I do it off the phone? Can I do it off the phone?
Oh,
What?
you'd have to join the meeting.
Yeah,
Um,
you'll be the guy. You're going to be the video guy now.
all right. Well, so you guys had a lot of fun. Um, it was an epic trip.
Dude,
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just I'm just
We did
now
the
I'm
Necker
just now
Island wildlife tour.
yeah. I
You
winged
both
around
said
Necker
that
Island.
we have to do that next year again.
Yeah,
If
it'd be in the yep,
that'll just be a part of it
yep. That'd just be a part of it.
to like set it apart.
Hmm.
What I wanted talk to Oscar about is doing not a wildlife tour, but a sports tour.
Ooh, that would be cool. Because they got tennis courts, they got pool, they got what else?
Well, I mean,
All
they've
the
got
all
all the
the
kiting.
kite stuff.
Yeah. I just saw him the other day with a new kite, like a Jensen or something like that. Totally new kite. It's called Say
Har
Yes. No, they've got yeah, they got the Harlem kit last year. Um, but they have let me see.
well, hey, let's we gotta I gotta go, but we got to we'll do the pair when you talk next time. Because then I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah,
get
yeah,
because
this,
I'm gonna do a full week on the sevens this week, so I have
yeah,
a
and
good
then we can
comparison.
compare that sort of stuff.
What did you
Well,
think first impressions of the power pack?
first impressions of the Power Pack is like absolutely incredible how well it packs down. Ozone did a phenomenal job. I think what Ozone does really well is that they, like set a design specific. They're like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. They set a goal and then they create the thing. And they wanted to create like the best packing wing. And what did they do? They made the best packing wing. Um, and to me, I think the what they've done with the bar, not the yoke thing, because the 777 did that before, but the just like the bar itself just has like all of the finished touches. Like F1 at $1,200 wing doesn't have like the touches that the ozone bar does, like with the little like cushiony, like it's just nice, right?
Nice, so
Feels
nice in
great.
your hand. Feels
And then the little horns at the end so your lines don't get caught on the side.
hmm
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And so your fingers don't get crushed between the. I've got like a blister on both my fingers here from the 777 because it pinches. Yeah, you got all these soft hands. You got these power pack hands.
power pack hand. All right, I gotta go, but we'll do one a week from now on. Now that we're back on schedule.
Get back on schedule.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just been a whirlwind. Like I'm still on a high from that Virgin Crossings trip. It was just you couldn't have planned it better. And next year is going to be even crazier, I think, because if it's As fun as it was with two boats, I can only imagine how fun it would be with three boats.
3 boats. Wow. And a
All
bunch of
right,
wangers.
wangers. I know. Like it was a good mix of kiters and wingers for sure. Good crew. I don't know if whoever it was like, what do you call it when you put it in a bottle and it's and you're
Uh,
like can't replicate that again.
oh, yeah.
Put the thing in the bottle. What's it called?
I don't know.
There's a saying.
Must be a southern thing. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. All right. What's our sign off? I forgot. It's been so long.
I don't know. Until next time.
This is
Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for all of our upcoming updates.
we are not that serious.
And
Um,
uh, we'll see you next time
on
when you're
Between the
looking
Gusts with
for something to do.
Brian Christensen.
And Oliver Shanklin.
Talk to you later. That's how they do it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Smash.